I see her rolling up, Uber black Cadillac, high heel boots.
In a statement that immediately captured public attention, Toprak frankly admitted that MotoGP is a completely different world. It's far more complex, far more brutal, and demands everything from a rider. He even emphasized that next season will be a very difficult year. But that's precisely where the biggest challenge lies. And today, that challenge begins. Toprak Razgatlioglu was seen in the Yamaha MotoGP paddock, alongside Fabio Quartararo, undergoing crucial Yamaha YZR-M1 V4 tests in Valencia and Aragon. His presence immediately sparked a wave of speculation. This wasn't just another test. It was a strong signal that Yamaha truly had high hopes for the world superbike champion. The Yamaha boss didn't hesitate to express his optimism. He even openly called Toprak a figure with the potential to challenge the dominance of big names like Marc Marquez. It was a bold statement that left the MotoGP paddock speechless. A new chapter had officially begun. Toprak Razgatlioglu, three-time World Superbike World Champion, is now ending his glorious superbike career and moving on to a new destiny. The 2026 MotoGP season will be a historic moment in his career, as he joins the Prima Pramac Yamaha satellite team and rides the latest version of the Yamaha YZR-M1 with a V4 engine, Yamaha's new weapon for recovery from adversity. This move is a major gamble. While many riders doubt Yamaha's performance, Toprak is stepping forward with his head held high and full of confidence. Yes, the Iwata manufacturer is indeed going through a difficult phase. Even Fabio Quartararo himself has expressed disappointment with the bike's performance this season. Here's the complete news. The world of MotoGP is truly on the verge of major change. A name that has for years been synonymous with extreme stunts, insane braking, and uncompromising courage has now officially stepped into the most ruthless arena in motorcycle racing. Toprak Razgatlioglu is finally embarking on his greatest adventure yet. In a frank and meaningful statement, Toprak emphatically stated that MotoGP is a completely different world than Superbike. Everything is far more difficult, far more complex, and far more demanding, both physically and mentally. He even admitted that next season will be a very tough year. However, that statement wasn't a sign of hesitation. Quite the opposite. It was a statement of a true champion's readiness to face the biggest challenge of his life. And today, all those words began to be proven on the track. Toprak Razgatlioglu was seen directly in the Yamaha MotoGP paddock, standing alongside Fabio Quartararo, testing the Yamaha YZR-M1 V4, during a series of crucial tests in Valencia and Aragon. His presence immediately sparked a huge commotion. Cameras were on him. The paddock was whispering. The international media was reacting. Because this was no ordinary test. This was the first sign of a major project that Yamaha was seriously preparing. The optimism within Yamaha was very strong. In fact, a statement from Yamaha's top management surprised many. They called Toprak a rider with the potential to rival big names like Marc Marquez. It was a bold, almost provocative statement, but not without reason. Yamaha saw something different in this Turkish rider. A new era had officially begun. Toprak Razgatlioglu, three-time World Superbike champion, is now ending his golden superbike career and opening a new chapter in MotoGP. The 2026 season will be a historic one as he joins the Prima Pramac Yamaha satellite team, riding the latest generation Yamaha YZR-M1 with a V4 engine configuration, a machine touted as Yamaha's last hope of recovering from a long slump. This decision was not a safe move. It was a major gamble. While many riders were choosing to leave Yamaha due to inconsistent performance, Toprak stepped in with complete confidence. He didn't come for the promise of instant victory, but because of his belief in a long-term project. Yamaha was indeed in its most difficult phase. Ducati's dominance was pressing. KTM and Aprilia continued to develop aggressively. Even Fabio Quartararo, Yamaha's current icon, openly voiced his disappointment with the bike's performance. But amidst this difficult situation, Toprak saw an opportunity. "I'm not worried," Toprak said calmly but confidently. "The Yamaha people believe in me. We're constantly discussing it, and they're working very hard. The bike may not be perfect now, but I'm sure Yamaha will be as strong as ever." That confidence was born from a long journey. Toprak is no ordinary rider. He is a symbol of courage, loyalty, and pure racing character. He is the most successful Yamaha rider in world superbike history. He is known for his aggressive riding style, extreme braking, and incredible sliding in corners, yet still maintaining precision and control. A style often called impossible, until he proved it himself on the track. Now that style is being tested in MotoGP, an arena that leaves no room for even the slightest error. For Toprak, this move isn't just a class change. It's a mission of honor. He doesn't want to just wait for the perfect bike. He wants to help build it. He wants to be involved in every step of the process. He wants to be part of Yamaha's revival. "I want to work with them. I want to develop this bike. And if possible, I want to be on the podium right from the start," Toprak said. An ambitious statement that reflects the mentality of a true champion. The tests at Aragon and Valencia laid the foundation for everything. Adaptation isn't easy. MotoGP bikes are far more powerful than superbikes. The electronics are more complex. The chassis characteristics are different. Michelin tires demand a completely new riding style. Not to mention the challenge of building chemistry with a new crew, and potentially bringing in trusted people from World Superbike. Something that's not easy within the MotoGP structure. But for Toprak, all these obstacles are just part of the process. He believes that every difficulty is a test before victory. And if Yamaha can return to winning ways, Toprak Razgatlioglu's name will be remembered as the figure who helped reignite the flame of glory for the Iwata manufacturer. His arrival brings a new color to MotoGP, not just for his achievements, but for his racing style. Extreme sliding, a courage to challenge the limits, and natural racing instincts make him not just a racer, but a speed artist at the track. As the track. Now the whole world is watching. Can the Superbike King conquer the MotoGP world? Can Toprak bring Yamaha back to the top of the podium, like the golden era of Valentino Rossi? One thing is never in doubt. Toprak Razgatlioglu never came to just try. He came to win. And for a true champion, every corner is an opportunity to prove himself. The Aragon circuit, usually quiet during private testing, felt different this time. Not because of the number of bikes on the track, nor because of the weather or track conditions, but because of one figure who had almost all eyes focused on the Yamaha garage. Toprak Razgatlioglu was back on a MotoGP prototype bike, and what happened on the track was completely unexpected. Since morning, the atmosphere in the paddock had been tense. Yamaha had tried to maintain complete secrecy, but Toprak's presence caused rumors to spread quickly. Mechanics from other teams began to slow down as they passed near the Yamaha garage. Everyone wanted to know one thing. How far would the World Superbike champion go when he returns to riding the V4-engine MotoGP monster? As soon as the green light turned, Toprak immediately took to the track without further ado. There was no lengthy warm-up phase as is typical for MotoGP riders. The first lap was still cautious, but only briefly. Entering the second and third laps, Toprak's signature style began to emerge very clearly. He braked much deeper than usual. The front tire was under extreme pressure, the rear end seemed to float, and in some of Aragon's tight corners, Toprak even appeared to be cracking the bike by pure instinct. The style that had been his trademark in World Superbike was now being applied directly to the MotoGP bike. And the results surprised everyone. The Yamaha engineers monitoring the telemetry data began to exchange glances. The braking graphs showed unusual numbers. The lean angle on corner entry differed from Yamaha's baseline. Toprak's use of engine braking was also much more aggressive. This wasn't simply a rider adapting to the bike, but rather a rider forcing the bike to do his bidding. What made the situation even more interesting was that Toprak wasn't just fast. He was consistent. Lap after lap, his rhythm was steady. Even when the tires began to degrade, he maintained his aggressive style without losing control. This raised a big question within Yamaha. Had they been limiting the bike's potential too much for the sake of comfort? A few hours after the first session, Toprak returned to the pits and immediately engaged in a lengthy discussion with the engineers. His hand gestures were firm, his expression serious. He spoke not like a guest rider, but like a full-time rider who knew exactly what the bike needed to go faster. He requested bold changes. Not small details, but fundamental settings. The front weight distribution was altered. Engine braking was adjusted to be more biting. Even the chassis character was discussed in depth. This was a rare approach for a rider who had only been in MotoGP a few times. When the second session began, the difference was immediately apparent. The Yamaha V4 bike looked wilder, but that was precisely what Toprak wanted. He attacked the corners with complete confidence. In the tough sections of Aragon, he even looked more aggressive than some regular MotoGP riders during the race. The Yamaha bosses present at Aragon were reportedly completely stunned. Not just by the speed, but by Toprak's way of thinking. He brought the WSBK racing philosophy to MotoGP, a philosophy where rider and bike...
I see her rolling up, Uber black Cadillac, high heel boots and a sexy body full of tats. Baby's bad, oh baby's hella bad. After her there ain't no coming back. Wanna take a run at that. I think she's feeling me, turn it up a few degrees. My imagination of her body gets the best of me. Oh gosh, she's such a tease, bitten lips, bruised knees. I'm addicted to her, need her touching me, cause she got a bad little way